this world, what you have to do is to figure out how to give up control, but still be in command. Because command is what you do when you're in business, when you're a leader. You have to make sure that this is the direction that we're going to march in. We're going this way. Everybody, we're going to march this way, and you're going to follow me. I command that we go this way. But you don't control people to go in that direction. The only way you can get people to go in that direction is to inspire them. You have to lead them, and you have to have a relationship with you. Now, there was a whole balcony of bloggers up at the top. They're blogging, they're tweeting away at this. They are leaders. Why is that? Because they have people following what they're saying. People are following them right now. The definition of a leader is a follower. So how do you actually lead in this new world with these social technologies? How do you create strategies around them? I'm going to talk to you about 3 ways to actually do this, how to be successful in doing that. In those 3 ways around this, we're going to talk about strategy, how to have a goal, how to be a leader, and then how do you prepare. So the first one, I want a strategy. First of all, you can't have a strategy around Facebook or Twitter. It's kind of like saying, let's have a strategy around our phone system or around your email system. These are tools and communication channels that you can use to apply. So let's take a look at how one company actually applied and created a strategy, and that's Best Buy. Now, what Best Buy did is they figured this is going to be a great way for us to connect to our customers. And not by directly, we're going to create a social network inside the company so they could talk to these folks, the blue shirts, the people who work in the stores at the front lines. And so what they did is they started connecting to people so people could talk to each other between stores, between departments, between regions, and also between the front lines and the people back at corporate. Now, one of those people who wrote back and forth and started really delving deeply into these new relationships was the CMO of Best Buy, Barry Judge. And he was writing internally, communicating with people, because for the first time, he could peek in and learn what was going on in the minds of customers directly from the people who were interacting with them. He didn't have to wait for all the feedback from his marketing campaigns to figure out what was working. He got instant feedback. So he could learn. That was a key objective for him. And he also put in his office one of these big screen TVs so that he could track all the comments that people were saying on blogs, on discussion forums, and on Twitter. He could see what people were saying about the brand Best Buy. Well, one of the things he decided at an early point was that maybe it was time for him to actually talk with customers directly. So he decided to write a blog. But if any of you have ever thought about writing a blog, the thought of it is really terrifying, because you're putting yourself out there. Who knows what people were going to say back to him? Were they going to criticize him? He was putting his thoughts, his ideas out for anybody else to respond. So he took a deep breath, he sat down, and he wrote his first blog post. And I just wanted to share it with you because it's very meaningful. This is what he wrote. It's the first post, just 10 words. Here it is, the first post. Phew, glad that's over. Now, some of you may be thinking about this and go, well, that's not a very inspiring first post, but it's such a huge step. I don't want to underplay this because for many businesses, taking that first step out to be able to share, to give up that control, the thought that you could even be in control, is a monumental step forward. For Barry, what he did then was really discover his voice. He figured out this is the way that he could communicate with people. He started talking about decisions he was making, agency choices, tagline choices, asking people for advice on what he should be doing as a CMO. And he got great feedback. But one day he was in his office and he was looking at that big screen TV. And he saw all of a sudden all these bad comments going by. And he said, something's wrong. It was his early warning system. He ran over to his department and said, what's up? It turned out they had sent out a test promotion saying to people, welcome, you're part of this new VIP club. Please sign up and you'll be a member of this new email newsletter. They intended to go out to 1,000 people, test subjects. Unfortunately, it went out to 6.8 million people. So, of course, what do? They sent out another email saying, sorry, you're not a VIP to those 6.8 million people. So at that point, you can imagine people were thinking, what am I? I'm not a VIP? Am I not important to Best Buy? So Barry sits down. They figure out what they're going to do about this. And then he sits down to write a blog post. And this is what he wrote. He wrote, this is what happened. And I am just sick to my stomach thinking about the customer trust that we just wrecked.